saying that Trump is dangerous to the system is like catnip for his supporters, because a lot of his supporters want to break the system. Yes. They're not electing a president to use the system in the traditional ways that we think of an elected president. They want to throw wrenches into the machine. These are people who feel like the system hasn't worked for them or has been used against them. So
and it has. And so, hasn't. Yes.
So I agree that it is dangerous what's happened, and yet that isn't the argument that's going to actually make Trump supporters think twice about whether they want to push the button.
They were always in that position. This is not new. I mean, it's not like because we're talking about the FBI conspiracy, that's going to force people to vote for Trump. Oh, hell no. The people that Judah's talking about, they always wanted to throw a wrench in the system. That's exactly what Trump is promising to do. He comes on, he has no concrete plans. Anytime you ask him about anything, it's terrific, it's great, it's magnificent,
I'm not
huge.
Defending Trump here.
Oh, yes, you are.
No,
You're
I'm defending
saying,
the people who
no,
vote
yes,
for
you
Trump,
are.
and that is a very different matter.
Oh, no.
They've got the
Wait
wrong
a minute.
candidate. But
You
the
got to
people
ask
who
yourself.
defend Trump have got very good reasons to defend
Really,
Trump.
what are their reasons?
Because they have been basically gibed by the system for the past 30, 40
How's that?
years.
How's that, Elizabeth?
And Jeffrey Sachs is on my side on this one,
Well,
if you've
what
read,
gets specific,
which is that
Elizabeth?
basically globalization has only benefited America as a whole. It has not benefited poor and working class people in America, what America calls
You
the
mean
middle
white
class.
guys?
Does it matter? That is just as
Well, I
racist
think
as
it
saying
does.
black guys.
I think it does matter
And
if
it's
you're
not-
looking at the
if you
demographics
look
of the
at
vote.
if you look at all the cities in the Ozarks, in the Appalachians, in Ohio, in Kentucky, in those places, not only was the Rust Belt industry has disappeared, and then the car making industry has disappeared, and now all the rest.
And what
disappeared.
is Trump going to do to fix that?
He's not going to fix anything.
Oh, well,
It's
then what's
terrible.
the point?
I lived in New York in the
if I may,
1980s. I remember his wrecking the bas-reliefs on the Bonwit Teller building the day after they were listed by the Landmark Commission because he wanted to build his horrible Trump Tower in place of that landmark. I mean, he's a spiv and he's a crook, and I'm not going to defend him or vote for him or anything. But I am saying that despising his electors is a huge mistake. You have people who've been not only downtrodden but told to like it, whose lives have been wrecked, whose children's lives have been wrecked, and who are just said,
But
take
he's
in
not
your bite, you are
offering any
finished.
solution
And
for
what
that.
they
And
remember
at the
was
same
Clinton
time-
and Obama saying these are people who cling to their guns and their religion, and they feel despised, rightly so.
At the same time, I think, again, to square the circle, there are two threads that have been going on with the Trump campaign, and the big debate about people observing it is which one is the dominant trend. One is this argument that it's globalization's losers, the ones who lost out in the disruptions that globalization affected upon Western countries, even though most of those changes in terms of industry began well before the period of free trade. The second argument is that this is the last sort of death throes and the last cry of an electorate in the United States, a demographic that used to run the United States. You used to be able to win the United States presidency.
White trash never ran the United States.
Let me finish my point.
Never.
Let me finish my point. You used to be able to be elected president if you won a majority of white men, period. And that's no longer the case. You need a broader coalition that includes minorities, that includes...
But yet he's neck and neck.
Well, that's where so that's a more of a racial issue. Now, let me finish.
Most of the racial
problem
issue.
is that-
I want to say this.
Let me
Race
just finish
in
what I'm
America
saying,
most
please,
of the
Anna
time is a
Elizabeth.
class issue, and you don't want to see that.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not
If the
saying that I
demographics of the
disagree
vote
with you.
showed that,
but
Anna Elizabeth, we buy on to
I
it.
think they do.
But
The
they don't.
demographics of the polling shows that it's a combination of both. There are plenty of globalization's winners who support Trump.
Okay.
And that's a racially motivated issue, whereas there are also poorer people who support him, and that's an economic issue. It's not exclusive.